down there, well, that's the United States right there. We're actually right on the border, which is not surprise you because nearly everywhere in Canada is right on the border. So yeah, that's the States. This is the Osoyoos, and this is RVing with Joe.
Get busy living.
All right, well, this journey always starts at Timmy's, of course. We got ourselves some Timmy's. Gonna get a little breakfast, a little coffee. We are making our way to Osoyoos, and that's where we're gonna go today. We're gonna go to a campground that we haven't been to before. It's First Nations campground. And this is gonna be a spot right on the water. Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. It's Johanna's birthday this weekend. So this is Johanna's birthday weekend. Well, her birthday was a few days ago, but this is the birthday camping trip. So I promise you, we'll be going to plant stores. That's undoubted. But we're also gonna go to some other cool places. We're gonna get some cool views, and we're gonna shoot some RVs Gone Wild footage because that's what we do. Just outside of Mission, BC, and we are heading to go get the RV and then hit the road. I've got everything loaded in the truck. We've got our 7 bags that we always take, and that's making it so that we don't actually have to take the trailer to our house to load up. We can just load up the truck and head to the trailer. Even in the rain, we've got everything dry. So we hitched up. It is raining, which kind of sucks, but this rain is supposed to end. Plus, where we store our RV is sort of tucked into the edge of the mountains. So even when it's not raining, just a mile from here, when you get to here, it can be raining. So we're hoping that in the next little bit, it's gonna dry up. And Sunday and Monday are supposed to be like non-rain days. It's supposed to be nice in the Osoyoos today with a little bit of rain in the afternoon, possibly. We'll see. The Okanagan tends to have afternoon summer thunder showers a lot. Stupid rain. Oh well, let's get going. Nice thing about having a big fridge is when we shop for our RV trip, we just buy the next stuff for the house. When we load up the RV, we just grab the stuff from the house. We don't have like separate peanut butters or separate olive oils, right? So I just got a big thing of peanut butter that I would never need for just the weekend, but we're out of peanut butter at home. It was a decent price. So we sort of shop home or RV the same and just bring the food back and forth when we're done. A big thank you to our sponsor, Tochta Custom RV Mattress. You might remember last year on our big Alberta trip, we were so tired of our old RV mattress that we decided to throw it out and get ourselves a new Tochta Utopia mattress. We had it shipped to the middle of nowhere in Alberta to a little UPS dropship location, picked it up, and it changed our RVing life. We have been sleeping so well over the last year. We've put about 50 to 60 nights onto that bed since we bought it. We RV all the time, and we've never slept as well as when we got our Tochta Utopia mattress. Tochta custom makes these mattresses to your needs. They'll make them as thick as you want, they'll make them whatever size you want, and they can make them fold in the middle wherever you want if you've got an odd size Murphy bed like us. And I was delighted when Tochta stepped up and decided to sponsor the 4th annual Western Canada Ember Owners Gathering, offering up a brand new mattress as a giveaway. How cool is that? A year later, our mattress still feels brand new. It's really held up. And in the last year, I've had better sleep than the 20 plus years before that RVing. Visit Tochta.com and discover why so many RVers trust Tochta for custom fit mattresses that deliver outstanding comfort and quality. Thanks a lot, Tochta.
Howdy, folks, let's go for a ride. Get your favorite one to sit by your side. Cuddle up in the sleigh, giddy up, Nelly Gray, and away we go.
While you listen to the sleigh bells ring, you're yodeling to your baby. You'll feel nice and warm, no matter how cold it may be.
So it wouldn't be a Canadian road trip if we didn't have just a little bit of snow. Here we are. Yes, I am still wearing shorts. You don't put pants on until the snow starts sticking to the ground. I'm gonna get back inside.
On a hill when I looked at you, my heart took a spill on a hill. It's a thrill that I can't forget.
Just before you get to Osoyoos is one of British Columbia's coolest natural landmarks, Spotted Lake. Now, during the hot summer months, much of the water evaporates and it reveals these hundreds of separate pools that are colored by different concentrations of minerals and salts. The lake is known to the Syilx Okanagan people as a sacred place of healing and cultural importance. Because of that, visitors can admire it from the roadside viewpoint, but access to the lake is restricted, which helps protect both this remarkable landscape and the traditions that are connected with it.
Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a breeze, love moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire. Hey, I'm never the same.
The Nk'Mip Campground sits on the traditional lands of the Osoyoos Indian Band, along the eastern shore of Osoyoos Lake. More than just a beautiful place to park an RV, the surrounding development reflects the band's successful approach to the indigenous-owned tourism industry, combining the campground with a winery, a resort, and a cultural center. The year-round campground offers everything from waterfront sites to full-service RV spaces with direct access to the lake and with the dry, dramatic, almost desert-like landscape of the South Okanagan. It's a busy resort destination, but it also gives visitors an opportunity to learn more about the Syilx people whose culture and connection to this land reach back countless generations. Hello everyone, we made it to the Nk'Mip Campground. Now this is in Osoyoos. This is Osoyoos Lake. Osoyoos is sort of the agricultural kind of warmest, most fertile spot here in British Columbia, it seems. We're just inches from the US border, or maybe a mile or so. And so this lake actually crosses across the border. You can boat right across the border, although you're not supposed to. This is a First Nations campground. It's a really gorgeous spot. A lot of people seek to come out here. The fact that it's a 3-day weekend and we scored a waterside spot, it blows my mind. But it seems people are starting a little late this season with it being colder and a little wetter. As you might have seen, we dealt with snow, rain, cold, and now it's nice, it's warm. We're in shorts, enjoying it, and it's been real nice here. We came over the Crowsnest Highway, and these videos are out of sequence a little bit, but this is right after I got the springs for my new trailer. And they put on new drums because the drums were messed up. And so with new drums, you're supposed to burnish the brakes. And that's something I didn't really think about. I didn't think about it till we were going over the Crowsnest Highway, which, as you can imagine from the name, has a lot of ups and downs. You go up and down a lot of elevations through multiple passes. And we started noticing brake fade on the truck, and lo and behold, I realized that I wasn't really getting a lot of brake out of the trailer, and that's when, I need to burnish the brakes. They're brand new drums. And so we started to burnish the brakes. We went out on Headley Road, which is a side road that runs along the highway for about 20-25 kilometers. And I just sat there and burnished the brakes. Burnishing is basically just making sure that there's a perfect seal between your shoes and the drum. The only way that really happens is by kind of wearing them both down against each other in this fashion. Now, how do you burnish the brakes? You sit there and you do about 65 kilometers an hour or 45 miles an hour, and then you slow down the vehicle at a gradual rate down to 20 25 miles an hour, which would be, you know, somewhere around 30 kilometers or something like that. But basically I would take it from that up and down, with about a mile or a half mile in between, which is what they say. Now, if you think about that, if you're supposed to do that 40 times with a mile in between, that's like 45, 50 miles of you doing that. That's not realistic. But when we did do it, we probably got about 20 burnishes under our belt. And every time I went to go burnish the brakes, they were working better and better. At the end of the experience, when we were going to get back on the highway, once again, they were back where I needed to be, where in the beginning, when I would hold them all the way and I'd start pulling the truck away, the wheels would just turn. But now that I had burnished them when I pulled it shut, basically the trailer stayed still. So clearly I had burnished the brakes properly. I was kind of surprised they didn't mention it, but to be honest, I've never really had a dealership or a mechanic mention this to me. It's only because I've read the manual. Jason over on RV Miles just recently highlighted the importance of burnishing brakes. So between those two things, it clicked. And I'm really glad it did, because we really didn't have a lot of trailer braking. I'm going on the Crowsnest Highway with, you know, what, 15-20% brakes. So who knows how many millimeters I just peeled off my truck, off the brake pads on that trip, but whatever, live and learn. The brakes are burnished. We did get them pretty heated up in the process, but if you read the manual, that's actually normal. So when we got into the campsite, you could still smell them a little bit. We'll see what happens tomorrow when we take off and we head back out. We'll see how it holds up on a fresh run. Anyway, I ramble on. This trip was mostly about getting here and getting back. This is really sort of a shakedown trip before our big Alberta adventure, where we're not quite sure where we're going, but I know I'm going to be out there for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I want this thing tuned and ready to go. So this was one of the shakedown trips. We just need to put new tires on this thing and hit the road. Anyway, right now, we're going to go check out some plant stores, probably pick up some food, and just do as little as possible. That's my goal today, as little as possible.
So, as coincidence would have it, right next to me is Roseanne and Jairus from Hitched Adventure. Instagram and YouTube. Make sure you follow them and subscribe to both. They just happened to park next to me, and they actually contributed to episode 50 of RVs Gone Wild. So, small towns up here. It's a small community. We all just keep running into each other. So that's great. Did you guys have a good time here?
Yeah.
Awesome. See you guys.
Yeah.
It's not like the wind. Look at that. Woo! Woo! It's not like the edge.
Oh my goodness gracious.
But that is Osoyoos, everybody. It's really windy out here, so I'm not sure how much you can hear me, but this is Osoyoos Lake. And if you looked over there, down there, well, that's the United States right there. We're actually right on the border, which should not surprise you because nearly everywhere in Canada is right on the border. But yeah, that's the States. This is Osoyoos.
The whole purpose of this trip is, it's my wife's birthday. This is her 50th birthday, and 50th birthday is a big one. So we've been devoting the last weekend through this weekend just to her. So that means a lot of plant stores. We went to many plant stores. Didn't do much myself, and really just not doing a lot after as busy as I've been. That's worth it.
Well, hey everyone. Well, I achieved my plan and I did very little yesterday. All this plant hunting is really in support of my wife's channel. If you haven't checked it out and you're interested in all the indoor plants, or you know someone who is, Joe's Rude Awakening is the channel to go check out. You'll actually see footage from down here in Osoyoos on her channel as well, right? Because she's down here shooting all kinds of video at these plant stores. But for me, it was mostly chilling and relaxing. We were going to record some RVs Gone Wild stuff yesterday, but it ended up being so windy that we ended up just sort of not doing it. We'll see if we get it done today. Today we're going to take this thing back over the Crowsnest Highway. We're going back the way we came. Hopefully there's less snow. We actually did deal with some snow. It didn't really get icy or anything. It was safe. But it was kind of funny, and all in the same day, to be like in sunny warmth, in the snow, in the pouring rain. We did everything the drive in here. But anyway, we're going to go back, and I think it's going to be a lot nicer weather today. This was the Shakedown trip for the AOE, like I mentioned. So we've got to make a few stops and make a few lists of things we need to get for the trailer. If you do come to Osoyoos, the Nk'Mip Campground is great. It's a little dense, so if you're along the water, I mean, who cares, right? That's usually expected. But even the interior ones, the spots are a little tight. That's because this is a pretty popular area. There's no RV park down here that doesn't have tight spots. This is a resort area. This is the Okanagan, and this is Osoyoos, which is like the top heap. This is literally like one of the warmest places in Canada year-round, especially in the summer. It gets downright hot here. Lots of fruit orchards, lots of wineries. We didn't hit any wineries up this time because really, we're not drinking. There was a DUI checkpoint at the bridge right before we came in that we just missed. I mean, we weren't drinking, that was fine, but keep that in mind if you're out here wine tasting. And if you do come down here, make sure you're prepared for the extreme heat and the extreme cold. Bring it all. Bring a jacket, bring your shorts, bring your Crocs, bring your snowshoes, bring the whole gamut, because when you come over here and you come over the mountains, you never really know what you're going to get. So we're going to do some breakfast here. I'm going to do a dump before we leave. I actually have a full bladder full of bleach in the freshwater tank right now because I filled it up with bleach water last night. We'll go dump it out there as we're driving and fill it up again somewhere. Basically, I'm getting the trailer disinfected and sanitized for this big trip we have coming up in just a few weeks. So stay tuned for that trip, and stay tuned for our trip back, because this video ain't over yet.
So here we are at the first pullout coming up out of Osoyoos. And why am I stopping here? Well, we filled this thing up all the way with water and then drove up a very steep hill. And now I'm just draining the fresh water, but we made it all the way up this hill and it got to 45 liters per 100 kilometers. That was the mileage. Now the good news is the truck was doing 100 kilometers the whole way. So we were able to get up the hill without a struggle, and that's with a full tank of water. I've never actually driven with this thing with a full tank of water, but since we just put the springs on, I wanted to put them to the test, and it went flying colors. Also, going up this really, really steep hill, which is probably a 7% grade, it was fine. Kudos to Ford for the EcoBoost engine. 3.5 liters with that turbo really kicks in going up a hill like this. So we had all the torque we needed. But now I'm just dumping the cold water, all the fresh water, and waiting for somebody to call me out on it because it looks like we're dumping our tanks. People in BC will recognize this place. This is Keremeos. Now, Keremeos is basically a town filled with fruit stands. I mean, you ever seen those tourist fruit stands where you pull up and you see they've got all the fruit outside, hand goods like the jams and the nuts and all that stuff. It's a classic kind of tourist stop. Well, this place is like the mecca of those places. There's always ones open, even when it's out of season. They just bring in stuff from other parts of the world. But we're gonna go maybe get some fresh fruit and some fresh something. I don't know, Johanna wants to go shopping here. That's okay with me.
with that, our Osoyoos birthday getaway was coming to an end. We crossed mountain passes through rain and snow, relaxed beside the lake, visited more than a few plant stores, and put the trailer through a proper shakedown before our bigger adventures ahead to Alberta. Even the drive home became part of the test, pulling the trailer through muddy puddles, potholes, and rough dirt, trying to see how these new springs handled the real-world conditions. So far, everything feels more controlled, more capable, and ready for whatever the next road throws at us. Sometimes a great trip's about the destination, and sometimes it's about making sure your rig is ready to reach the next destination. Make sure to get out there, explore somewhere new, and get busy living.